This week at High Peak, we buy a load of new cars to restock the forecourt, we take a trip down to my mechanic to check in on a few ongoing projects, we head over to Cheshire to collect a Mini Clubman, and the first phase of the signage is done at the dealership. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, we've got a very busy week here at High Peak Autos. We've got plenty of new stock arriving, I've got to go and collect several cars, and phase one of the cladding is now complete. Let me show you where we're up to with it. I'm quite impressed, I think it looks really good. So the first phase now has been completely finished. Actually, it's not quite finished. There's still some trim to go around the window there, but all the other trim's now been completed. It does look really good. For 7 years, you know, I've pulled up to this place every single morning and thought, what an embarrassing place. It's really scruffy looking, and now it looks like somebody cares. The only thing we've got left to do really is the sign along the top. So we've got the plywood there ready to go, so the new sign will just be screwed to it. Job done. Let me show you some of the new arrivals then. Got plenty of exciting stock. The Mercedes SLK that you saw last time, that's here now. I also bought a Mercedes SL, which is beautiful. I'll show you around that. What else have we got? This arrived a couple of days ago. It's a BMW 2 Series convertible. Now it's a late 2019 69 automatic, and it's only done 9,000 miles. So it's a really good find, that. It needed a very good clean. The hood in particular was quite grubby, but the lads at Tameside Detailing have done a really good job. That's that then. I bought a 2018 Kia Soul. They always seem to sell well, especially in white. Then we've got this very nice VW Tiguan. Now this one came in part exchange. It's automatic. It's quite a nice colour, like an aubergine colour. That shouldn't be around too long, really. Oh, let me show you this. So this is a 2013 BMW 520 diesel estate. Now I'm a big fan of these, but the interesting thing about that one, it's only done 18,000 miles. 18,000 miles in 12 years, it's unbelievable. And it's like a new car, really. I can't imagine that one sitting on the forecourt for too long. I think that'll sell quite quickly. I bet if you ever look on Auto Trader, you won't find another one with that sort of mileage. We've already sold a Nissan Note today. A couple of days ago, I bought a Nissan Note off my mate's grandmother, who had quit driving, so I bought that from her. It'd only done 14,000 miles. That sold this morning. We've still got another automatic Nissan Note that I bought last week. So that's there. They're always quite good sellers. What else? I thought we'd sold the Mercedes CLS, but there was some complication with the finance and the customer couldn't proceed with it. So that's still available. The Kia Sportage that you saw, I think last week, that's now clean and ready to go. And there's plenty of fresh stock as well arriving every day. There are some at the valeters, there's some at my mechanics. So although the forecourt looks a bit quiet at the moment, believe me, it's not. We're going to head to the mechanics in a minute, but before we do, let me show you this SL, because it's a really nice one, this. Follow me. It's also warmer in the showroom. It's freezing out here today. Alexa, turn off. Excuse the mess, it's still a building site, but here's the SL. So it's a 2007 SL350, so it uses a 3.7 litre V6, and it's only done 41,000 miles, and it's absolutely immaculate. It's currently undergoing a plate change, which is why I've just stuck these High Peak plates on it, just so I could picture it. But as soon as the paperwork comes back, then it'll go back onto its original 07 plate. But I'm a big fan of these SLs. The R230 I just think is a beautiful car, and they're definitely starting to appreciate in value. I've got a 2002 version of this, but mine's the 55, and I've had it for 5 years now, and I love it. But this being the 350, yes, it's a bit slower, but there's far less to go wrong. This doesn't have the complicated ABC suspension, this is just on standard springs. So yeah, I was quite pleased to buy that. That's the SLK that you saw in the last episode. The only thing that I'm waiting for with this, it needed a blower motor. There was some sort of module on the blower motor that's broken, so that's been done. I've ordered the part, and that'll be done in a couple of days' time. Then that's ready to go. What else do I need to do today? I'm going to take something interesting off the forecourt and go and do an Instagram post with it. Maybe the BMW, losing the ability to speak, it's so cold. Maybe the BMW convertible, so I might take that next, go and do a post. I need to go to my mechanics. So if you'd like to follow me to my mechanics, I'll give you a tour of what's down there and what's happening. Right, we're down at my mechanics then, and my little 100NX Nissan is currently being MOT'd. That's going to have a fresh MOT on it. I really like that thing, actually. I've got plenty of other cars down here as well. So my bill this week's going to be quite big, I imagine. Oh, my P38, I've got some good news regarding that. Now, do you remember I bought that, well, I bought that last week and went down to Joe at Shifting Metal. He picked it up for me. And I drove it all the way back and didn't have any faults, to be honest. But you never know when you're buying a 25-year-old Range Rover. And it turned out to be not too bad. So I got it up on the ramp and it's quite solid underneath. It's not too rusty. In fact, it's not rusty at all. It looks like it's always been garaged. My mechanic said that mechanically, the head gasket's been done on both banks, so that's a result. And it's quite a decent example. So, well, by accident, I bought a good one, I think. The steering was very sloppy. It wandered all over the road. Now, I was right, actually, my diagnosis. On the video for that, I said that it could be a steering box, and it was. So we've got a new steering box on order, and a couple of track run ends I think it needed. And that's pretty much it. So it's had its full service. What else did it need? I think that was it, really. I don't want to, I'm gonna wax all the underside of it just to protect it. I didn't want to do it with Schultz or Lanegar because it looks like I'm trying to cover something up, and there's actually nothing wrong with it. From there, then, it's going to have all of its cosmetic stuff. Wheels at Prestige Wheels, a little bit of paint work and a buff. And then I can start using it and enjoying it, because it does sound really good. I need to order a new stereo for it as well, actually. Sounds good, doesn't it? There was one more fault with this as well. When they got it up on the ramp, the air suspension wouldn't sort itself out. So it needs a ride height sensor, which isn't a big job. So that's all it needs, really. So that's that. The Bentley I'm still waiting for some parts for. What else is mine? Oh, the blue Range Rover, that turned out to be decent as well. So I got that, again, Joe picked that up for me, and I drove that all the way back and it was fine. So I fitted some parts to it myself, some new lights, the original grille's in the boot, I just need to put that on. What else? I took the window tints off it. It looks nice and clean, really. That's been up on the ramp as well, and my mechanic said that whoever owned it previously has spent an awful lot of money on it. It's had new brake lines, new brake disc and pads front and rear, new suspension components, so someone spent a lot of money on that car. So yeah, good news really. By accident, I bought two pretty good Range Rovers. What else? Oh, my S5's down here for a new timing chain. The engine light came on that, and yeah, that's going to be quite a costly job. There are 5 different timing chains on that car, so it's very involved. So that's going to be done. What else? My Fiat Coupe is waiting for its cam belt. The kit's arrived, so I just need to get that fitted. I think I can do it without taking the engine out as well. I think I can do it with just, you know, moving the gearbox out of place. The old NX, I've stripped for parts, and that's going to be scrapped. The Abarth there on the ramp, that's having a PDI and MOT. That sold the other day. So, did I do a video with that? I can't remember. I think I did a TikTok with it. Anyway, that's sold. So yeah, things are moving nicely. And yeah, there's plenty to go and collect and plenty to do. Well, I've just been to my mechanics to pick up the cheap C-Class, and it needs a set of wheels. So what I'm going to do now is head over to a place called Motorsport Wheels in Reddish and have a brand new set of alloys and tyres fitted. These have been repaired too many times and they won't pass an MOT. That's the reason why we've got so many slow punctures. So I'm going to do that next, but take a look at this. Audi UK have just dropped off this brand new S5 for us to review. Take a look at it. We've got this now for a whole 7 days and I can't wait to use it. So I need to go through this and check the spec properly, but I think it's something like 367 horsepower. It's a really good looking car. They don't make the S5 Coupe anymore, I don't believe, so they're all this sort of, this sportback style, which I actually quite like. It looks quite chunky and butch. You also get a massive boot. One thing I don't like about it straight away though, and this is true of all new Audis, I don't really like the new font. It's only a minor point, but I just don't really like the look of it. But it does look cool, doesn't it, with its 4 exhausts and everything. You get these nice subtle door handles that are nicely sort of flush with the panels. So I'm looking forward to driving this. I'm not a huge fan of that colour actually, it's a little bit, you know, dull. But I'm really keen to get it on the road because it just looks and sounds very cool. You take a look at this interior. How smart's this? You get this huge screen here which wraps around the driver, but then you also get a screen on the passenger side as well, which is a bit strange. You get this roof as well which tints at the touch of a button, so you don't need a blind. It's just really, really smart. Yeah, I like it. Let's have a look at the boot. So I think we're all going to be fighting for use of this for the next 7 days, aren't we? Anyway, I'm going to head to Reddish in the C-Class, and I'll catch up with you in a bit. the alloy wheel place, I thought it was called Motorsport Wheels, but I must be getting confused, or they've rebranded. It's called Alloy Wheels Manchester. So I've been into the office and picked a set of wheels that I liked. I went with like a two-tone, like a black and polished look. I thought it would help improve the look of the car, really. So they've quoted me £650 for a brand new set of wheels and a brand new set of tyres. So I'm going to leave it with them for about an hour and then come back and pick it up. They had plenty of choice in there, and it did take me a good sort of 5–10 minutes just to pick the ones that I actually wanted. But I think it looked good. While this is here having its wheels fitted, I'm going to go over to SPR and see Sam, because my ML55 AMG is all ready. So I'm going to go and collect that, and then, well, figure out where it needs to go next. I think some paint work. Then I'll come back here and get the C-Class. Well, just an hour later, the wheels are all on, and they look really good, actually. I'm quite pleased with them. I think when the car's all clean and polished, they really make it stand out. I needed to nip back to the garage in between because I've just bought a very low mileage Seat Arona from a YouTube viewer, actually. So he came up and dropped that off. So I met him, did all the paperwork, paid him. I've taken that for a valet, then came back here for this, and then I've got to go and pick up the ML. I was going to do that before, but I got sidetracked with this Seat Arona. Anyway, it'll all be done. I'm a little bit gutted, actually, because there's a dent on this that, I know it's a bit of a shed at the moment, done 154,000 miles. But surely that wasn't there before. When it was parked in the car park, it was parked quite closely, so maybe I missed it. Or it's happened at my mechanic, I don't know. It must have been there. Just not very observant, am I, obviously? Right, I'm gonna get on my way then, and I'll see you in a bit. Well, I've just dropped off the C-Class for a full engine service, so it's having a B service and a gearbox service. So that'll be ready in a few days' time. And I've picked up my ML55 AMG. It's had an awful lot of work, this, so I'm quite excited to drive it. I won't spoil the surprise, I won't tell you what my bill is, because you'll have to watch the main video for that. But I'm going to take this now for paint work. So it's going to go to Jimmy, where he can try and make it look as good as possible. Sadly, Jimmy doesn't like to be on camera, so I can't show too much of that. But I should be able to show you some of the work that he's done, or doing. So I'll see you in a bit. Let's see how this drives. Well, we're currently in the office and I've had a slight change of plan. I'm supposed to go and pick up this Mini, but I can't pick it up for another hour. The guy who I'm buying it from isn't back from work until like this afternoon, so I thought rather than waste some time, I'd come and do my VAT return. If you're wondering what this comically large stack of receipts is, well, thankfully I don't have to go through it. I'm going to pop this in a mail bag and then send it to my accountants. So every 3 months in the motor trade, you've got to do your VAT return. So I've got a stack of invoices here for the cars that I've sold, and then I have to pay the VAT on the margin, on the profit margin for the cars that I've sold, and then I can claim back the VAT on everything that I've spent. As long as the mechanic's garage or the valeter's or the place where I've bought something from is VAT registered, I can claim that money back against the money that I've got to pay out for the VAT. It really stresses me out, this. I've got to do it every single quarter. So usually, well, I'll start off with my spreadsheet with my stock list and go through every single car that I've bought and sold in the last 3 months. That's that. Then I get a total figure, which usually makes me feel sick because I owe thousands and thousands of pounds out. Then I pop all my receipts in a mail bag, and then my accountant can sift through them and then knock off that figure off the figure that I'm due to pay. So that's that, really. I would guess here then, going through these sales invoices, I haven't worked this out properly yet because I'm just trying to do several things at once. I think there are about 100 cars there that we've sold over the last quarter. So it's been a pretty steady period, to be honest. Then I've got stacks of receipts here for fuel and mechanics and paint and an awful lot. So this is where what you're looking at here is a massive overspend, basically. But I always kind of hope that I've spent a fortune, really, so that my actual VAT bill, the net figure, is as low as possible. But it is what it is. Usually, actually, interestingly, it's always about the same. It's always the same kind of figure every quarter. It's really time consuming, this, because I've got to type in every single car that I've bought and sold. So I type in the make, the model, the reg, the mileage, where I bought it from and how much for, who I sold it to and how much for. Then I can work out the net figure. Yeah, it stresses me out because I'm not very good with figures, to be honest. It's something that I always just tend to bury my head in the sand with it all. This is why at work I've got a drawer in my top drawer of my desk, and I just throw all the receipts in, and then at the end of the quarter I just collect them all and pop them in the post. Those, by the way, are some bonnet struts for an L322, in case you wondered. Hey pal, you right? Yeah, good. Can you oh, they arrived? Yeah, look at this. That's all right then. This, by the way, we've ordered some new beanies for the online store, and they've just arrived.
And he's just dropped them off.
They look good actually, because the last ones.
So they've been embroidered this time.
Because the logo, just to give you some sort of context, because the logo is quite detailed, we were having difficulty finding somebody who would. They're good actually.
They're really good.
With the embroidered parts, you often lost a bit of detail, or it would kind of look a bit blurry, but they're quite good. Yep. That's all right.
Yep.
Very good.
They're really good.
What do we need to do with these then? You're going to picture them and put them on the website?
Sure, and put them on the store. So we've got black with the coloured logo, black with the black and grey logo.
And grey as well?
Like charcoal grey.
Oh yeah.
That's all right. The difference in the bag, but you can actually when they're out.
Right, good.
So, oh yeah, they're amazing.
You don't need me to model them, do you?
You want to put one on now?
No, I don't suit hats.
Show the people.
I'm not a good advert for them. Like a clown.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't look good, does it on me?
If you wear it backwards like that, just put it on properly. There you go.
That's not. They don't suit me at all.
No, very good.
Like Benny from Crossroads.
They'll be on online very soon.
Right, good. We need to go and get this Mini as well.
Now.
Yeah, just let me bag this up. I'm nearly done actually, so just give me another 10 minutes. Could you pop this in the post as well for me?
Yeah.
Right. That's about it then. Yeah, let me just get finished up here and then we'll go and collect the Mini.
A few moments later.
Well, we just got here now. I've seen the car. It looks all right from a distance. Quite a good colour, actually. So I need to go in and do the paperwork and do a bank transfer. And then I'll give you a quick tour of it if you like. From there, I'm going to take it for a valet and then see what else it needs. But I don't think it needs anything mechanically. I think it was serviced recently. I think it's had a gearbox service, so there's not much for me to do. So yeah, give me a minute to go and pay, and then I'll give you a quick tour. So here's the car then. So it's a late 2018 68. It's the 5-door Clubman, which is quite a cool little thing, really. It's got the comfort pack on it as well. It's quite a good spec. So this has got like keyless entry and stuff. Now these doors pop out like so. Quite unusual, isn't it? It's done 49,000 miles and it's a little petrol automatic. Yeah, I think it's quite a good looking car, that. Tyres are all pretty good. The wheels are in pretty good condition. There's one little bit of damage to the near side front wheel, but I think I might just get away with touching that in, really. Seems a waste to refurb all 4, doesn't it, when one's not even badly damaged. Is that not working? So inside, it's quite clean. I'm going to take this to Tameside detailing for a full valet, but doesn't really need it, does it, to be honest? We've got folding mirrors, 4 electric windows. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with this. I'm hoping as well that it sells fairly quickly. It should do. There can't be many of these around, really. I think by the time this is on the forecourt and on the website, I don't think it'll take too long to sell. So really, it's quite good stock. I think the colour's quite good. I think it suits it. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Right then, let's get this on the road. We'll head straight to Tameside detailing, I think, for its valet. And yeah, tomorrow then, I'll be ready to picture, put on the website and park on the forecourt. Job done. Well, we've just got my little Nissan NX back from my mechanics. I ran it down there for an MOT and just a general check over, and it started to overheat. So I was panicking, thinking that the head gasket had blown or we'd got a failed water pump or thermostat or something. But it turned out to be quite a simple fix. Now, what had happened was the heater matrix was all blocked. It was full of like, well, you know, like when you drain an old radiator, it was full of sludge and gunk. So it's been flushed out 3 times, and it's now got fresh coolant and everything's fine. So I'm going to do some more miles on this today and just make sure that it, you know, doesn't overheat. Luckily, I caught it just before it boiled over, so it didn't do any damage. They've tested everything. It wasn't a head gasket. It wasn't anything serious. So I just need to do some more miles on it, basically, and just keep my eye on it. But I think we've cured it quite inexpensively as well. So that's it, really. Well, today's the big day. We've got the lads coming over from Origin Sign Company, fitting the signs outside. We've stripped this here because this had like a wallpapered area with the company name on and all that sort of stuff. So we've got rid of that, ready for the new High Peak logo to go on. So that's all prepared and ready. I imagine when they arrive, they'll start off doing the signs outside first, then they'll move inside. It's been quite a busy morning so far. I've just got this Seat Arona back from the valeters. So I've been and done an Instagram post with that, and I photographed it for the website, so that's done. The SLK is back from the valeters. The SL in the corner there, I've just got the logbook back from a plate change. That's now sold and being picked up tomorrow. What else? The 435 BMW in Snapper Rocks is now sold, so that's gone down for an MOT. It's amazing me how long that's taken to sell. I've had that car since September, and I'd buy it again tomorrow. It's like such a desirable car, and yet it's sat here for 5 months nearly. My colleague's just dropped off a Kia Rio that I need to go and photograph, so I'm going to go and do that now and get that on the website. And yeah, wait for the lads from Origin to come and fit the signs. Well, we've had quite a busy run actually, which is good. So this Kia Soul behind me is now sold. And again, I've had that for about 3 months. I'd sold it once already, then the customer changed his mind. But at that point, I'd already prepared it. So it's had a service MOT, I think it needed brakes and tyres and the standard sort of stuff. But that cost me about £900 in preparation, so a bit more than I was expecting. But it's now sold anyway, so I can recycle the money. The TT is now sold. That's been picked up tomorrow. And the Honda CR-V is sold. That's been picked up tomorrow as well. And the CLS Estate is now sold as well. That's going out the weekend. So, yeah, it's been pretty good. It's a constant battle, this. I mean, obviously I'm here to sell cars and I'm pleased when they sell, but then you've got a job to do to try and replace them. And I don't like to just rush out and buy any old, rubbish. So the biggest challenge always is finding nice stock to replace all this sold stuff. So yeah, I'll have to try and replace all my stock. Once the signs are done around the side, then we're going to focus our attentions around here then. So I'll get my dad back to clad around this area here, tidy up around the office, and then replace the signs. So we're getting there. Feel quite optimistic really, feel quite positive. Everything's happening. Well, the lads have just arrived, so I'm going to pop the kettle on, make them a cup of tea, and yeah, I'll have an update for you soon. I can't wait actually, it's going to look really good. I've been itching to do this for about 7, maybe 8 years now. So yeah, I can't wait. Well, the lads from Origin have finished the signs now, or phase 1 of the signage anyway. It looks really good. So they've done the signs all the way around the back and over the roller shutter door there, because my intention is to keep this down now. And then we've had a new sign done on the gate, that'll feature on all the car adverts, and we've had some new wallpaper around the office, which looks quite cool actually. We've got 3D lettering as well. It's all quite fancy. I know I'm not a fan of 3D reg plates, but the 3D font on the wallpaper does actually look all right. It's the only time I'll allow it. If you ever look as well, it's a really good opportunity here to see a before and after, because we haven't done the rest of the signage. So as soon as we go around the corner here, you can see what it used to look like. And it was appalling, really. So when the whole thing's done, it's going to look really good. Can't wait to see it. Well, I think that's it for today's episode. In the next month or two, I'm going to sort of slowly work my way around the building and renovate the whole lot. But it's just quite costly, really. So it's all down to cash flow, down to dough problems. So we're going to work our way around the showroom and eventually clad it, and then, well, basically just rinse and repeat this. What I'd like to do also is take this wall down and put some pedestrian gates there, but I need to speak to the landlord first and get their permission. But yeah, I think that's about it. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Week with High Peak, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.